I wake up at 5 a.m. for 365 days.
Welcome back.
Now, shout out to New Sales from Downward Detroit Conversations. Now, in that
Welcome back. Welcome back.
It only verifies that Keisha, aka CEO Frank, was there. It also verifies that Frank was there. Now, that's only important in this test, but then
Welcome back. Welcome back. Part 2 of but again, I couldn't finish it last night. I got sleepy and I wanted to finish it. But he was found guilty by default judgment because he did not show up in court. And many acted him and young men or young boys throughout the years. And right now, particularly, he just have, disappeared from the public. So this is part 2. We just gonna listen to people, the accusations and what people are saying who have been traumatized by him. So we just finishing up from yesterday.
Hurting and it was definitely crazy to hear this now when I was doing so much other work in the community at the time.
Folks from exclusive top down speaking at growing, and they all tell similar stories.
Africa Bambatta being accused of sexually abusing several boys decades ago. He never sat down with him for an exclusive TV interview to answer the allegations. She joins us now, Lise.
Well, Stephen Derry, Africa Bambatta brought peace to violent city streets, but now he's accused of a crime. That exclusive interview, and no questions were off limits. Have you ever abused any underage boy?
I never abused nobody. It just sounds crazy to people to say that you abuse me. The hundreds of people that been around me. If something like that happened, why you never want to?
The Crazy to
Yeah.
His 1980s hit song, considered one of the all-time greatest in hip-hop. Since then, as the founder of the hip-hop cultural organization Zulu Nation, he's been a visiting professor at Cornell and invited to speak around the world. He told me the accusations came as a shock. What is the motivation?
Yeah, what is the motivation? What is the agenda?
Do you think there is an agenda there?
It's hard to say. I don't know what any of these people are thinking, what is behind it. Some parts I think like it could be shake-ups.
Bambatta's Chichi Ravage is now 50 years old. He claims in 1980,
Come on, StreamYard.
and was followed by at least 4 other abuse incidents.
I didn't have nowhere to go, so I had his number and go to his house.
He paid for the cab.
Therapy, he came to understand he was abused and became aware.
I was confused.
Naive.
The other guy coming into the room and like, what was they gonna do to me?
I asked Bambatta what he would say.
The brother knows the people who he came around in my group with and know that he wasn't in my presence among those people, and he needs to go back and speak to those people who's part of our organization and deal with them and stop all this type of craziness that they've been trying to put by attacking me.
And you never touched him inappropriately?
I ain't touched this brother whatsoever.
Liar.
The allegations have set off a social media firestorm and ignited feverish debate. Since the alleged incidents happened so long ago, no criminal charges can be brought. And there have been no settlements or payouts, says Bambatta attorney Charles Tucker Jr. Have there been any criminal charges filed against Africa Bambatta?
Absolutely not. Not today, not yesterday, not the day before yesterday, not ever.
Now is what happens next? Can we ever find out the truth of what really occurred? And are there other victims out there who have yet to come forward? Or is this a case that will only be tried in the court of public opinion? Here's what both sides have to say. In our exclusive interview, Africa Bambatta emphatically maintained he is not a sexual abuser. Do you feel now you are among the people falsely accused?
Come on, StreamYard. Come
Wait till
on,
10, 15,
Jesus.
to even 30 or 40 years before they find out.
There are more victims out there, and that the statute of limitations should be eliminated.
No one can tell anyone when they're ready to let stuff out. And especially if you haven't went through what I went through and other people went through. It's like, how
And that's a fact. If you haven't gone through, I didn't tell nobody till I was 28 years old. I had in me all those years. So when they say that you wait so long, people do. Shame, guilt, thinking it's your fault. So that's a fact. People do, and some people take it to their grave and never tell. And you wonder what's wrong with these people. Okay, this Melly Mel, what he had to say, and I like Melly Mel. On Vlad.
Okay, so Records, which is the first label with a hit song, period. So and they're signing a lot of the other groups, and you're just one of many groups. And I guess Freedom was the first single.
Yeah.
Okay, and that was a smash. It sampled "Get Up and Dance" by Freedom. Later on, it actually sampled SWV, right? The song "Anything."
And actually, Freedom was supposed to be a Love Bug Starsky song. But he had a lisp, and she didn't want to record, it's like they didn't record people that spoke in back in the day. Like Biggie had a lisp. And for people that don't know what a lisp is, like a lisp, look, like how Biggie be slurring his words like that.
Yeah.
It's called a lisp. So she didn't sign Star because he had a lisp. And then so she let us put our thing on the record, and that's how Freedom came about. But it was originally for Love Bug Stars.
Okay, and then a few more songs came out. The Birthday Party, Showdown, Nasty, Scorpio, which was the electro record.
Right.
Was
No, Planet Rock. We did that because Planet Rock track then. So we like stay in that in the trend where the music was going, and then that's when we did Scorpio.
Okay, and were you close to Africa Bambatta?
But we all grew up together. Now I'm not saying we was close, because see what it was back then. It wasn't like it was beef, but it was always competition. So Bam was the competition, and we had healthy respect because we had the Zulu Nation. You do the anniversary, we perform. So we wasn't necessarily close, but we traveled the same circles. So we was good.
And when you fast forward years later, when you hear about the accusations of Bambatta, station charge and everything else, what's your take on that?
Well, I mean, it's not like people didn't know, or it wasn't Like it wasn't not like it was something else, in other words. But it was just something that was like, you know, maybe pop special or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You know.
Okay, so you knew, and you think everyone pretty much knew that Africa Bambaatta was gay.
It is what it is. I mean, you know, you got people that would deny it. You got people that would say they don't know. I'm saying everybody knew it, so it was all right there. So I mean, you know.
Well, I mean, being gay is you know, especially these days, is perfectly acceptable. Not a big deal. But messing with underage boys is something completely different.
Well, see that part about it, you would have to interview him, because you know, my whole thing is like I said, is everybody. It ain't like what's a mystery, you know. Yeah.
Everybody knew.
So, you know.
Melly Mel still look nice looking. Bambatta after Ron Savage on Sinetta. But I don't have it all. But I'm just going to start with part 4. Because these are clips on Vlad a year ago.
Okay, so let's talk about the root of what happened. And let's start in the very beginning. So you grew up in the same projects that this incident happened, right?
Right. American, if that's what they would call us.
For some reason, Mexican showed up in my notes. God. You know how New York is. I mean, well, not usually Mexican, but usually a lot of dudes are big as Bobby, so I figured there was some Spanish to send somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay. And growing up, your dad wasn't around, right?
Oh, he would pop up here and there. He was a dope fiend.
Okay. And your mom had troubles as well.
My mother wasn't on drugs. She was like dealing with a lot of sickness.
Okay. And you had 5 brothers and sisters?
6 of us all together from my mother.
Okay. And you described your upbringing as dysfunctional.
Very.
Explain.
I mean, I grew up like I don't even know where to start. Being that my mother grew up in a dysfunctional home.
Let me just move past it.
Influence over the community. He was a pillar.
Okay, so leading up to Bambatta, was it, you mentioned it was a female. Was it females and males or just females before that?
Females and 1 male.
Okay.
But see, the thing about it is with the male that I went through the experience with, he was still a child himself.
Okay. How old was he?
About maybe 4 or 5 years older than me.
And you were how old?
About 6.
Okay.
Wow.
All right. So you're going through all this, and then you meet Africa Bambatta, who's the founder of the Zulu Nation, around age 13?
12.
12.
Actually, I didn't meet him at 12 years old. I knew the man my whole life.
Okay. Well, you would come by.
Yeah, we grew up in the same neighborhood. So I would see him every single day of my life.
So Planet Rock came out in 1982. And that was his biggest song. And that became, kind of a staple in hip hop. I mean, it's gotten sampled hundreds of times and so forth. So by 89, he was already a hip hop superstar. He had already toured around the world and so forth. I would assume he wouldn't be living in the same place he grew up in.
That's where you would assume wrong, because you have to understand something. He's never left the hood, ever. He may have had, like, for example, he had a
Wow, he
but
never
he's
left the
always kept
project.
himself,
Wow.
like, around the village, where he was able to deal with all the children. Like, literally, you got the community center right there in the middle of Bronx River, and then you have the building that he was from, whether it was 9-5 or 1609, because it was the both of them. And then, you know, back when I was going to high school, and, you know, Harry S. Truman, he also had an apartment over in Mark Terrace. So he kept himself close, where he was able to have kids come to his house. He's never left the hood.
Wow.
Okay, and the Zulu Nation, I mean, that was a very powerful entity in hip hop.
Queen Latifah,
Queen Latifah,
Q-Tip,
Run DMC,
everybody.
Public Enemy. You know, I mean, I remember Night of the Living Bassheads when Chuck D was like, "Here it is, bam!" And then there's African Bambatta in the music video.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, me being a hip hop fan, I mean, I bought Planet Rock on 12 inch. You know, I remember the importance of.
Okay, get
Africa.
to it.
He just, for some reason, Ben will never come out of the closet, because, you know, first of all, he's part of the Moorish community. You know, so I don't see him ever coming out the closet admitting to who he is.
Well, you got all type of people out there with all type of things, whether they be gay, straight, or whatever's out there, and they do their different style or whatever they doing on the planet. So you don't know what styles of hip hop or what people are doing. Whatever they do behind their closed door, that's to each and all of them. So I couldn't say what that's the same, like that ain't got nothing to do with Christianity, Islam, or Judaism. Ain't got nothing to do with whatever politician or whatever's happening out there. So we cannot say who's what and who's what.
Okay, I mean, as one of the founders of hip hop, do you see it like an outwardly gay rapper coming out and being accepted by the hip hop community?
I couldn't even say. You have to look online to all that to see who's a gay rapper, who said that they're a gay rapper, if they're rapping whatever they rapping to.
A random question to a hip hop guy that I was interviewing. Like, I didn't have any, you know, background info or anything else like that. But I do remember his answer was a little bit odd, you know?
Yeah, he's not, because he's supposed to be he won't ever come out. But he might as well. It's 2025. Don't nobody care other than you messing with children, allegedly. But he lost that case by default because he showed up.
Difference was, you had some killers in the Zulu Nation. You had some breakdancers in the Zulu Nation. You had every once in a while you would see LL Cool J. You would see Ice-T. You would see everybody. So it's like now you got it's like right now going around Lil Wayne and Young Thug and all these jobs right now. The kids go crazy. So then because it wasn't about Africa Bambaataa, it was about the family. Everybody in Bronx River was part of the Zulu Nation. Our parents grew up in the Zulu Nation, and you know it was the older generations. And now you get to see the warriors, and you just wanted to be a part of that. Like, for example, you know, you don't really hear his name too much. B.O. was a big inspiration in my life that made me want to be a part of the Zulu Nation, and my big brother Jerry. You know, these were dudes in that time that, you know, were strong, real strong brothers.
Okay, so you started hanging out with Africa Bambaataa. You're 13 or so at the time, and you said he was like a father to you.
Right.
And you didn't have your father around. You was in and out on drugs.
Right.
The relationship to something going wrong. See all the Vaseline, the porn, and it's like, oh, okay, this is getting weird. Like, I'll give you an example. But one day with me,
Come on,
in
stream
the
on.
office / workout room, the room next to the bathroom, 1609. So we a weight bench in there, and me and Eric, we working out. We on the bench pressing. Bam comes in the room. He got the Polaroid camera, and now he's convincing us, oh, look at those muscles. So now he gassing us up to take our shirt off so we can flex our muscles. And when he walked out of the room and he started, me and Eric, we looked at each other, and he was like, yo, you seen that episode of Different Strokes with Arnold and Dudley? And it was the same situation with them, you know. So that takes you back to one of our experiences with Bam. This is what he do.
Okay. At one point, they actually start to molest you, after showing you.
Yeah, absolutely.
At that point, he started to actually.
He follows you in the bathroom. Now when you go in the bathroom, he got to go in the bathroom with you, and he's peeing at the same time. It's like he's incredible. Now he's timing you going to the bathroom and pissing at the same time when he's pissing. Then he comes with the young men are supposed to joke off, and then he leaves his room door open with porn playing, and he might walk out and then just have you sitting there, and then he leaves you. Then he turns around, and this is what how you really like. He's bugged out, and you realize how sick he really is, especially when you think back. Now he has books, and in those black books, people you never think that you would ever even expect is in those books, butt ass naked.
Wow.
And when you look at those books, you actually looking at stair steps of the older generation before you in those books.
Wow.
And catching all these guys at a young age.
Okay, are these people that we know about these days?
And I know in the past I done threw names out, and I said I'm gonna try my best not to really call people out, but in the streets, we like, yeah. I mean, the reality of it is, it's like this in Bronx River, and a lot of people don't want to admit it. One day, there was a fight, and I said this in my video that Star had put up. One day there was a fight going on. I believe it was a Roy Jones fight, and there was like 50. So when I come in, I'm the last one to come into the fight. So somebody said to me, they was like, all right, Bam done tried everybody in this room. What'd he do to you? Then
Damn.
I stopped laughing. I started laughing with him, but later on, I was like deep in thought, like, this nigga got me. But the truth of the matter is, a lot of the people that in Bronx River,
place when it comes to relationship.
Wow.
Why do you think that he was focusing on young kids as opposed to just finding someone who's 18 or older?
Because that's the whole key to it. It's like Tom, he doesn't have a boyfriend that he's going to sleep with. It's always a child. And I'm not going to say that he's not into, grown men.
Wow. That's why he didn't show up to court and lost the judgment. It's too many accusations for it not to be true. Everybody's saying the same story about him.
I came out on Facebook. After I came out on Facebook, Muhammad Stanley Bell reached out to me. He's pretty much control of the Zulu Nation security. He has the Zulu Warriors security company, which I used to be a part of. He reached out to me. They just started the company, and he was like, "This is looking bad. It's hurting the company." So after a few,
Come on,
I
StreamYard.
grabbed the video, and 6 months later, I wakes up. I get a phone call from a brother, very strong brother. He was like, "Yo, they talking about killing you." So what is you talking about? He said, "Look at the newspaper." I looks at the newspaper. It's bee stinger all over the newspaper.
Interviews with Lord Jamar, and Bambatta's response was, "I don't know who this bee stinger guy is. I've never met him before. I don't know who he is." And Jamar was like, well, that's not true, because bee stinger and African Bambaataa together many times. He was in the studio together, et cetera, et cetera. I'm not Brutus. And at this point, how many people have come forward and said that they've been molested by Bambatta? I mean, besides you and bee stinger?
About 7 of them.
Wow. Wow.
Running from the courts right now. There's a John Doe who because everybody think that I'm the John Doe. I'm not the John Doe. There's a John Doe that's actually coming out on him right now, and Bam hasn't been showing up in court. I believe both. I could be wrong, but it's definitely civil.
I mean, honestly, I haven't, ever since these things have come out, I've never seen Bambatta really just period. I mean, he made a couple of statements at the beginning denying it, and then I've seen news, I've seen those, I've seen him on Twitter.
Well, I mean, he wouldn't even mention me. See, with Ron Savage, right? Bee stinger. Ron Savage was a money grab. Even though I believe everything that Ron Savage said, he used it as an opportunity to pull a Cassie. And he's not going to admit that, because now, if you this video was up there, I wish I could have sent it to you.
He did. He did.
So after,
and he disappeared after. That's a fact.
Going to Albany and being a part of the Child Victims Act. After all of that story. Now, a lot of people ask, when I initially came out on Bam, I said that I'm never going to court. But after a while, the people was like, you got to take him to court. So what happened was, Layla Wills, not anybody else, Layla Wills helped me to get an attorney. Turns around that the attorney that I had was the same attorney that Ron Savage had. So when Ron started going back on his statements, they must have just looked at the whole situation. I'm not even wasting my time. And the lawyer told me, he was like, we can't find Africa Bambaataa. And if we go to court and we can't find, the case is not going to go anywhere, because we can't get in contact with him to subpoena him. And it was like, another lawyer is going to take this case, but they're not going to be able to get it. So after they, they stand like that, it ain't meant to be, because the reality of it is, only thing I wanted for him to do was to admit to what he did, which in all actuality, he did admit to what he did to me in front of a room of people.
Wow. We only got a few more videos on this. I think that's it from work. Let me see. So hold up while I find this other video. Just give me a minute. Give me a minute. See, sweetheart, act all right until you put a video up. Damn, I still got, man, I got so much stuff in this phone. It just don't make no sense today. All right, I'm just about there. Let me see. Give me a minute. Damn, I have so much on these days. This don't make no sense. Okay, here we go. Now let me look for it. Hey, where is the video, y'all? Oh my God, where is the video at? Right, I don't see it. So I'm not gonna worry about that. So let me go to the next one. Damn, gotta come on later. Hey y'all, how y'all doing? Shit, I gotta go a month later. I don't see that video. They fight outside. Okay, we're going there. So let me see. Oh, this is chill. Okay, here we go. Here we go. At least I got some.
You already know the rules.
Just on camera.
Peers who basically confronted him with me, and at that time, in that moment, Africa Bambaataa in the beginning, he admitted to what he did to me, and he apologized. During that time, for me, I didn't want no cash for myself, nothing for myself. Even though I said it before and I say it again, Muhammad tried to get me to get $20 out of the nigga and give him $16,000 because he was behind on his rent. What about your friends? Yeah. And what it look like I'm stupid. I got mortgage of my own, but I'm gonna give you $16,000 and take $4 for myself. That's what I was supposed to ask them for. You're right. It wasn't about the money. It was about the principle. I requested 3 things from Bambatta. 1, to put a tombstone on my big homie's grave that would stop soldier, right? 2, to go help. 3, to start some type of building or some type of foundation with all the money he accumulated for the youth.
Right.
Nothing for me. Nothing. Life went on. Everything was cool until I get a phone call. And your eyes, they talking about turning your TV off. They talking about rocking your snap box. I said, what you talking about? He said, read the paper, front page. I said, what? The front page newspaper is beating, aka Ron Savage, teary-eyed crying, exposing Africa Bambaataa. Similarities, I'm not saying my whole story.
It was.
I took his story. I came out 6 months before Ron Savage. This is which I didn't know. I just took my story down 2 hours later. So now, after I see Ron Savage all over the newspaper, I call Africa Bambaataa himself. And I tells him, I'm here in the street. Niggas trying to move on me. I need for you to get me some steel. I need me a couple of pieces of steel so I can hold myself down. I go to the police, I'm turn up. Now I need some steel so I can supply to the niggas around me if I'm gonna be able to talk to Tafiq. Told him. Call Tafiq, let him take care of that. I'm talking to you, nigga. I said, you know what?
after that phone call, when I hung it up on Star's platform.
Yeah.
See, the thing about it is, behind the scenes, Star going in on the Zulu Nation, and they was trying. I was on a conference call with them when they was trying to get Star to take the videos down, take my video down. Star wasn't trying to hear them, so I'm listening to them, you know, talk.
I like it. He talked about the Star Report. I like Star.
I'm on Star's platform. That starts the journey to where we at right now. It's something I wanted to play. In a civil case, they was going to do it both together. Ron Savage sabotaged my case.
He did. He
With
did.
the lawyer, deliberately. Whatever he said to those lawyers, they threw the case out.
They did.
So it never went anywhere.
They did, and we talked about this. I'm gonna move past that.
It took a great amount of strength for him to do what he did. Everything that I had to endure, he had to endure without seeing his face. Everything I said, he did. He was a survivor as well, who became a champion behind the scenes.
Facts.
Layla Wells, along the way, fighting through now to get Africa Bambaataa out of the hip hop museum, which brings us to Fat Joe. Fat Joe got on his stage and announced to the world that I was an enemy, me and Layla Wells, to hip hop, and we was trying to destroy hip hop. This is what Bambatta used him for, to discredit me. That's what he did.
I'm gonna have to put that down on Fat Joe.
A nigga that was making $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 a month. Lost my monetization. I was getting lost my momentum, lost my monetization. You talking about a dude that was going live and having 20 or 30,000 people at one time watching me the same as academics. They knocked me off my pivot. My page ain't never been the same.
If I'm gonna put this video, I'm gonna have to keep this one.
This is where my problem came in with Fat Joe. KRS-One said we had to make our leaders fallible.
He did.
KRS-One on the internet and told everybody that I was COINTELPRO, I was the police.
He did.
This is what I had to fight. KRS-One, somebody that I looked upon like he was a hero.
Me too.
Mr. 13 and good.
Me too.
So Layla Wells woman that I'm paranoid about in the beginning, who turned down. Was doing in my case, because we had the same message I didn't understand. When you dudes like this comedian dude,
He said that.
Not, but we won. We finally got a little piece of justice. And I need for y'all to understand the reason why John Doe did this is because without something in writing, we have to say alleged.
Facts.
As the monster.
Come on, say it again. Say it again.
He is Star. For helping to put me on this path. And help me to become the man that I am today. Shout out to Layla Wells. Layla Wells, a true champion. That woman got disrespected, on spit shitted on. And she dusted that shit off. It came out fighting like a true champion. I didn't watch the video. And get in that comment section. Thank you, Layla Wells. Please.
Wow.
Show her the appreciation. And last but not least, all the people that's been following me from 2015, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Everybody that supported me on this journey. The supporters. Team Poppy, Team Hassan Campbell. When people thought that I done cried and broke down and even got shot on camera, like Gully TV, the nigga that act like he was my friend. And as soon as he seen me get shot, it's over for this nigga. Nah, I'm just beginning. To you people out there, give yourself a round of applause. Because y'all helped put a nigga in position that's a father, a husband. I take care of all the dudes around me, put other people onto my platform and showed them love. I want for my brother what I want for myself.
I like Hassan Campbell. I always believed him when he came out against Bam. I always believed him. I believed everybody, being a victim myself. Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad John Doe, he won. He won for all of the victims. Okay, let me get to this next video. He won. Let me see. We only got a couple of more. This is the same.
Hey, yo, it's your guy, City Nash.
Oh, this City Nash.
This one probably is going to shake hip-hop to a score. One of the founding fathers of the game, African Bambatta, just lost a civil case for child sex abuse and trafficking. And you know what's worse? He didn't even show up to court. Yep, you heard it. Let's get into the nastiest story the culture's been trying to bury. Before we break it down, let me remind you who we talking about. African Bambatta. Real name, Lance Taylor. One of the architects of hip-hop. Bronx legend, the man who brought us to Zulu Nation. Peace, love, unity, and having fun. That was their slogan. He gave us
Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Here we go.
So here's the lawsuit details, all right? In 2021, an anonymous man, we'll call him John Doe, files a civil suit in New York. He say from time to time he was 12 years old, Bambatta abused him, trafficked him to other grown men. Said it went down between 1991 and 1995. something this serious and don't show up. The judge, Alexander Tisch, issued a default judgment. We heard enough. You didn't defend yourself. You're guilty. Now they move into the damages. Financial punishment on the way. Let that sink in. One of the most respected names in hip hop history just got hit with a judgment.
I kicked my own self off this time.
I don't know, bro. Something get a little odd. And with multiple men coming forward, the hip hop community mostly stays silent. Why? People that they admire can be monsters. Let's talk facts. We cancel artists for less tweets, lyrics, controversial interviews, but this man got multiple accusations of abusing kids.
Facts.
And still not enough noise. So, as soon as them allegations popped up in 2006,
Yep, he stepped down from Zulu
they tried to say
Nation.
he was on leave. Nah, man, he was running. That whole moment, peace, unity, upliftment, it's tainted now. Imagine being a young cat looking up.
Come on.
As a cover for exploitation. You gotta admit, that is sick. And this ain't just about African Bambaataa. It's about how many people enabled him, who saw something and said nothing, who protected him. So what now? African Bambaataa's legacy? Done. Civil case? Lost. Criminal charges? Maybe. Not shit. But this judgment, that don't wash off, bro. If hip-hop don't address this head on, we're gonna lose our soul anyways. We already preached death, violence, and all this other stuff. And everybody went
Nah, he right. Said it, you said it. Oh my God. Oh my God. Of course, lost information. Damn, this. All right, like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. Please hit the like button. What y'all think? African Bambaataa guilty? He didn't show up. I personally think he guilty. Ben thought that. It's too many allegations. Too many people saying the same story about him. Same thing. Like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. We out.